Look at the Dow now. It is down, let's see, ding, 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 ding. It is down, 980 points. It's going south. As recession fears soar, let's bring in senior economic advisor for the Trump administration, Trump campaign, rather, a fellow heritage.
Hey, Steve.
You know what, Steve Moore. I'm not sure
there
what,
he is.
I'm not sure
Not
what
yet.
that
That's
said.
a little premature.
And
We're not in office
Steve
yet.
left the house so quickly. He's looking like Jim
We
Jordan
appreciate the
today.
rush.
It's been a crazy day.
Yeah.
I mean, the
Where
market's
is that
down
jacket?
1,000 points. Look what happened. You saw, Sandra, what happened in Japan. The
Yes.
Nikkei index just got crushed. And I think this really dates back to that lousy jobs report that we had on Friday that showed the economy really slowing down. And, look, I think there's also, I know this is a political thing to say, but, in the last 2 weeks, you've seen Kamala really rising in the polls. Now it's a tied race. I think a lot of people on Wall Street, and Sandra, you cover this a lot, I think people are a little worried about the agenda that she would bring in
She
to
and
the White House.
Gasparino said exactly the same thing.
Interesting.
Not
Do
an
you
hour
think
ago.
a lot of this is about what's to come with the election?
Yeah, I do. I think, look, if you look at what Kamala Harris is saying, she wants to double the capital gains tax. She wants to tax unrealized capital gains. She wants to re-regulate virtually anything that moves in the economy. And she's basically totally embraced the Biden agenda.
So the only thing I would say
think
about
that's
that
negative.
is just historically watching the stock market.
Yep.
It hates uncertainty.
Yeah,
and so
that's
it's
true.
not always a direct reflection of we
Good
don't
point.
like those policy pitches or what she might deploy if in the White House. It's not knowing what policies
That's
will
true,
be put
too.
in place. And that uncertainty will crush markets. Although this is still correction territory, right? I mean, we're not in bear market yet.
Well, we're getting
I've
close,
been
we're
busy
getting
this
close
morning.
to it.
Have we? Are we? Okay. So which
and-
would be 20% down from recent highs.
I think there's a lot of uncertainty about what the Fed is going to do. There's now some talk, Sandra, that the Fed might immediately cut rates and not wait until September, given what's going on. Look at commodity prices. They're crashing right now. That means there's a lot of business. I talk to manufacturers, construction company people. They say business in the last 4 to 8 weeks has really started to drop off. And so I think the economy is in a little bit of trouble. It needs help. What I'd like to also see is I'd like to see Congress say, look, we cannot continue to go on borrowing $2 trillion a year. They should convene immediately and come up with a package of substantial reductions in government spending to give investors a sense of hope. We can't have $2 trillion of spending every year that we're not paying for.
No, the only problem is nobody across the street's listening.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, some people might be thinking it, but they're not about to do anything. What this has done in the last couple of days is it's given Donald Trump a brand new talking point to try to blunt Kamala Harris's momentum. Let's listen to what he said in Atlanta over the weekend.
We now have the highest unemployment rate in 3 years. If Harris wins this election, you will quickly have a Kamala economic crash. You could have a crash. You could also have a crash like in 1929, more specifically, because that's where we're headed.
All right, so for the last 3.5 years, Biden and Harris have been touting the rosy economic outlook, and everybody's doing well. In the meantime, families across America are not feeling it. Yeah. And now not only are they feeling the pinch from inflation and high gas prices, but they're looking down the barrel of a potential recession. So how does that affect what we see between now and the voting begins?
I mean, Kamala's been touting the economy, and Biden has, because the first half of this year, the economy did pretty well. And now we're just starting to see that thing drift away. So, look, I do think elections are pocketbook elections, right? They're people sitting around the kitchen table saying, am I feeling better today than I was 4 years ago? And when you combine the high inflation now with a labor market that's really softening, I think it puts Kamala Harris in a very tough position. By the way, Trump just tweeted out, I don't know if you saw, tweeted out now, X'd out today.
No, he truthed out.
Truthed out. He said that this is the Kamala crash. Did you see that, Sandra?
Yeah, he just said that.
Kamala crash.
Let's not forget that there are fundamentals.
Of course.
In this market that would render some selling. I mean, you look at what's been happening. The losses leading the stock market today, when I look at the sectors right now, it's information technology.
Yeah.
And for anybody who's even glanced at the stock market in the last couple of years, this has been leading the way. So, I mean, is it fair to say or question whether or not this is a stock market just taking a break from record high after record high?
It is a fair thing to say. And look, tomorrow, people keep asking me, well, should I buy stock? Should I sell? Is this do you buy in this? Is this a buying opportunity? Maybe. I mean, I don't think anybody really really knows what's going to happen tomorrow with this market. But I do think it is a correction. There was a lot of irrational exuberance, and you're right. There's a multitude of factors that affect why the market goes up. I remember, you guys may be a little too young, but I remember 1987, the 1987 stock market crash, which was horrendous, and 2 months later, the stock market was right back to where it was. So.
Well, Jackie over here beside camera 2 says, hey, the market's on sale. It's like going to the shopping mall, right?
Do you know what's so funny about where we are now with the high price of the stock market? The flash crash of 2010 was like, oh my gosh, you glanced at I was on my honeymoon. It was down 1,000 points. That was that was unprecedented. Now, 1,000-point drop is a couple percent.
Yeah.
The problem is, though, that when the United, what's the old saying? When the American market, sneezes, the rest of the world catches pneumonia. So these foreign markets are just getting killed right now, especially Asia. But I wouldn't panic. My one piece of advice is don't sell in a down market. You always lose money doing that.
Exactly. Buy in a down market, right? Maybe you'll make money, or maybe you'll lose
at least sit pat.
All right, Steve, great to see you.
Your jacket misses
Welcome
you.
to the business capital.
Next time, if you forget your jacket,
next time, give me a little more advance notice when you have me on the show. All right.
Thanks, Steve.
We're just teasing. Thanks.